Well, Jaime, one of our awesome ALC members, is going to kick us off today with our Y4C2Ts. Y'all give it up for Jaime. Jaime, take it away, brother.
Okay, guys, so as soon as my screen clicks over, I'm going to say what's in the red, and then you guys are going to repeat what's in the black. Okay, we got it. Let's do a little test run. Win-win.
Or no deal.
That's it. Integrity.
Do the right thing.
Customers.
Always come first.
TCPA. No. Communication. Commitment. D.R. Horton is in the house, yes. I think they're testing me to see if I have it memorized. Creativity. Trust. I'm going to say that one again. Trust. That's right. Teamwork. That's good right there. Equity. Success.
We made it.
You're the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaime. You know, it's nerve-wracking for people to get up in front of y'all. Y'all are an intense crowd. And so then to have the technology go a little wonky is even more. So I appreciate y'all, and thank you for helping us get the meeting started on that. Hey, real quick, I'm going to change the tune real fast, and then we're going to get right back on track. If y'all did not see this morning, we had to announce some very sad and unfortunate news that we have lost one of our Heritage family members. Her name was Kaylee Forrett. If you did not get a chance to know Kaylee, she's been with us for about 4 years now. She started on a team with the Ben Kinney team back in 2021, and then just recently this last May, her and Hillary branched off to start their own team that they call Golden House Realty, and they were truly building a lot of momentum and success. Kaylee, had been battling the flu for about the last 2 weeks. She had recovered from that, but on Saturday was not feeling well. So her husband, Adam, who's an amazing guy, advised her to go into urgent care. Unfortunately, they did not find anything super major other than some gallstones, which were a surprise. And so they advised her, hey, on Monday you need to get checked up and figure that out with your surgeons. But given her some medicine and told her to go home and have some bed rest. Following doctor's orders, she took a nap that evening around 8:30 and unfortunately did not wake up. Kaylee was young. She was 39 years old. She would have been 40 in July. Her and her husband, Adam, had been together or married 16 years, but together almost 20. And together they have a little girl, 6 years old, named Emerson. So if you will please, let's take a moment of silence. And if you would just say a silent prayer for Adam and Emerson and Kaylee and all of her friends, we would appreciate that. All righty. We don't know the results of everything yet. They are still waiting on medical reports. As soon as we get news on that, we will share it with you. They are very blessed to be surrounded by a lot of immediate family that lived in the area, and her California family and Arizona family have all come into town. So they are surrounded and fully supported in the moment. But we know once the dust settles and the noise goes down, that is when they will need us to step in. So we are in daily communication with Adam and her business partner, Hillary, to find out what the needs are and as they are ongoing, and we will keep you guys abreast because we know the Heritage family steps up when needed. So we thank you guys for that, but please continue to keep Adam and Em in your prayers, and we would appreciate that. Okay, we are going to switch gears and we're going to get back on track. So I need to start with some wins. Of course, you guys know to always stay TCPA compliant, but let's go ahead and start with some wins. Where's my wireless mic? Jaime, do you still got it, my friend? Matthew, you want to be my runner? Hand that over to Matthew. I need a few wins
right here, Matthew,
to get the spirits back up in here, and I know there's a lot of activity. Who's got a win for me this week? Don't be shy. Multiple offers. I love that. Good, 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 good. Who's got another win for me? All right, there we go. Stephanie, what do you got, friend?
5 closings in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, woo! I love it. I love it.
And then 13 listings in quarter 1.
Dang, very nice. Okay, where are you picking up your business? Where's your main source right now?
3, Sphere, referral, and then event.
Sphere, referral, and events, you guys. They work. They work. Who else got some wins? I know they're out there. Cookie. 3 new listings. I love it. Very good. Very good. Where are your listings coming from? Referrals. Y'all stay on top of that database. That's where it's at. We've got a class coming up on that soon. I need some more wins. Don't be shy. I'll start calling on people that I know have had some success this week. Sonny, there you go. I'm calling a name. What do you got, Sonny?
First of all, this isn't just a team meeting, it's a whole vibe of its own.
Amen,
It's
amen.
freaking awesome walking into this place with the music going and listening to the buzz. But house on the market on Friday, under contract by Sunday.
Nice.
Buyer under contract, listing through an open house, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When I talked to Grant earlier, just a quick little testimonial was I kind of pulled away from the vibe itself, and business suffered. As soon as I stepped back in, was in the building, at the meetings, all of a sudden things just started to blossom all over again. So
Amen. I
it's
love
good
that.
to be back in the office and great to hear about all the successes out there.
Woo! Thank you for that, Sonny. That is so true. When you guys are out of the office and I'm hearing people are slow and we sit down, the first thing I ask is, why aren't you in the building? You got to be here. It just naturally happens. We say it all the time at KW, what you focus on expands. So when you're in the building and you're around other people moving and shaking, you're going to do the same. Brooks, what do you got for us, my friend?
2 new hotel listings and closing on a shopping center development.
Woo-woo! Okay. All right, I know who's buying happy hour later. There we go. All right, Trent, what do you got? Wait for that microphone to come to you, brother.
All right, here's a big win and a plug for one of our partners. I had a listing out near Randolph Air Force Base on the market last year for 6 months. Barely any showings, took it off, set the stage. Faith Brown was set the stage, fully staged it. We went back on the market 2 weeks ago, and now we're under contract.
Nice.
Oh, and we raised the price.
And you
And
raised
we
the
raised the
price.
price.
Whew, look at that. That is a success story. You know, I was talking to Faith the other day. This is coincidental, but she said she's done something like 150 stages last year. Her average days on market was something like under 50 or something. And given the average days on market throughout San Antonio, she's ahead of the curve. And a lot of those were stagnant listings like yours where it wasn't staged originally and then she got her hands on it. So if you haven't used her, I highly recommend it. And she does offer a pay at close option, which is new. And one other thing I didn't know they do is you can actually finance some upgrades to the home through her financing and pay at close. So talk to Faith Brown, set the stage. Monique, you got something, friend? What do you got?
I have 2. In about 35 minutes, I'm going to go evict a tenant, so that's a win for me.
Okay, okay. Well,
But
you know.
I did buy another rental property last week.
Woo! I love it. I love it. Walking the walk. Walking the walk. Okay, I think we're going to go to Myra and then Joanna. Okay, Joanna first.
Hi. First, I capped for the first time. I've only been doing
Hey! Woo! Your first year in real estate, right?
Here, 10 months in. I have 2 listings, one this week that just went live this week, and then I have 2 buyers under contract, and I'm just trying to be great like y'all. So
Oh, you are, friend. You are. You're crushing it. I love that. Congratulations on capping. Phenomenal. Myra.
I just hosted an open house on one of my listings I was getting zero traction on. I got 8 people, 3 people unrepresented. One was a cash buyer. We started shopping immediately after. And so yesterday we found the house we wanted after 3 days of consistent showings.
From an open house.
From the open house. And then I got from the gym, I got 2 referrals, one in Timberwood that we put in a private market until their tenants move out. And then we have one coming up as well. So.
Nice. Both of those were from the gym? Whew. Tell you. Putting in the work, and it works. And y'all, open houses work. We keep hearing week after week about open house success. Good job, Myra. Brenda.
Okay, I have 3 new listings coming up, and I'm doing what Trent did. Is take the house off the market, redo it, and come back.
I love that.
And got it with a price reduction. We're not doing the price up, we're doing the price down.
Brenda, stay standing. Y'all, she just hit 28 years with KW Heritage. Give it up for Brenda. And she's still making the success happen. I love it. All right, hit us. What do you got?
all right, everyone, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
So I am part of River City team, and so we can always shout out ourselves, but I want to shout out our team because they're amazing. 15 deals under contract and close, and 11 just in the pipeline. So we really had a good volume for the River City team, and I just wanted to shout out all the team members. So, and it's not just River City team, it's all of you. Like we've heard, it's about a vibe. So just thank you for just pouring into us. Thank you for just staying under great leadership, and just thank you for being here.
I love that. And Janie, can I share what you shared with me earlier? She is a walking blessing right now because Janie had a small stroke not that very long ago, and here she is alive and thriving and kicking butt in real estate. We're thankful for you, my friend. I'm glad you're doing well. Sarah.
So I was showing a house, and I actually had a neighbor walk over, and I thought I parked in their spot. I was so worried. It was a townhome. But she actually was just wanting to ask me, so I actually just listed her house. She just wanted to list her house, so she came over and just was like, hey, thanks. And then I want to shout out, I don't know if Faith is here, but we had a listing as well. It was over I think average days on market was over 3 or 4 months. We staged it, got a full price offer. That was over what I thought I would actually appraise for, but it appraised, and it went under contract in 48 hours. So.
Woo! Very good, very good. All righty, we got 1 or 2 more. Susan.
Okay, I've concentrated mostly on buyers, but I have a listing now with 3 more coming up. And the one that I have was super, super important for me, and I was fighting for it. And I freaked out, called Sarah Aguilera, my little mentor, and she talked me through it. I got the listing. They signed it today, and
nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations. All right, we got 1 more. Yvonne, go for it, friend. Hold on. Got to let those online people hear you, too.
So my client, who happens to be my son, listed his house. After going on the market for 2 weeks, we had an offer. He was getting anxious because he already put an offer on another house and was under contract. We're working with Brandy. And so I was kind of worried that his house that he's currently in wouldn't sell so quickly, even though he didn't have to. So after 2 weeks, he went under contract, so we're going to be closing on that house the end of this month. We close with Brandy.
In-house, I like it. Intermediary.
I listed another house a week ago, Thursday. We had 4 showings on Saturday and 3 offers by Sunday.
Nice. Right on, friend. We say it every team meeting. There are wins everywhere right now. When I walk the halls, I'm just overjoyed hearing all these wins. And like I said at a previous meeting, when I'm talking to other brokerage leaders, and I'm going, hey, well, they're usually asking, hey, how's the market for you guys? And I return the question. And it's funny, I'm hearing a lot right now of people still moaning and groaning at other places going, we're still just not getting there. And then I kind of feel bad, not really, but I do still kind of feel bad when I go, man, I feel like we're rocking and rolling right now because I'm hearing so much success. So I do think part of it is, yes, the market is changing, but I also think it's a lot of the hard work you guys are putting in. So I'm going to encourage you, continue to lean in. We are coming into the spring. PCS is happening. Corporate transfers are starting to happen. Sellers are starting to get off the fence and getting ready to put their homes on the market. So the more you're putting your name and face out there, the better, because let me tell you, the opportunity is there, my friends. All right, TCPA notice, especially since Texas Realtors is in house, we always stay compliant, so make sure you're doing that when you're prospecting. Just a quick reminder, our team meetings are extending just a little bit. We might get out on time today, but instead of just constantly running over, we're adding on 15 minutes. Y'all, these are our sponsors today, so thank them for lunch. D.R. Horton, Advanced Protection and 360. I'm going to invite D.R. Horton to come up real quick to tell us what's happening. But while Gina's on her way, Advanced Protection, Mr. Johnny Lopez over there, who's in home security, he's a good friend of ours. He has hidden 5 cards taped under chairs for some gift cards. So reach under your chairs. If you are one of those 5, stand up so he can get a good look at you, and then go see him for your gift card. All right, if you're one of those 5, go see Mr. Johnny over on the side, and he's going to hook you up. And as we settle back in, I am going to turn it over to our good friends, Gina and Lori with D.R. Horton. So y'all give it up for Gina and Lori.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. We just wanted to remind everybody, while the busy season is upon us, that we are your online sales team. We're 2 of the 4, actually. I'm Gina. This is Lori. We also have Haley and Kaylee. We are available 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. So when you're busy and you want to know what D.R. Horton has, you don't have to hunt everybody down. You've got 1 phone number, 1 email. We can get you all the information you need, even if it's a phone number for your favorite on-site. We can set up an appointment with your favorite on-site. We can get you the inventory, directions. The back of our page will have our map of all of our communities in case you have a buyer looking in a certain area, certain price point. Just call us or email us or text us at this number and let us know what you need, and we'll get it to you super fast because we're working all day. So we're not out, and our on-sites get busy. They have walk-ins, they have appointments. They are out in the sticks and in the dirt, and they are busy sometimes. So if you need a quick answer, we are your girls, and we can help get you what you need. We also wanted to remind you that we have got up to 6% commission if you scan the QR code. You'll see a full list of homes. It's a flipping book, so you can turn the pages. I love the sound when you turn the pages. But yeah, it's a good one. So it'll show you all the homes, what their commissions are. We standard 3% across the board, no matter what. Unless you see otherwise noted, we've got some 4%, 5%, and 6% commission available.
Don't say standard. Texas Realtors is in the house.
Sorry.
Yeah. Our typical.
Sorry. So, we're offering up to $8,000 towards closing costs with DHI Mortgage. I don't know if anybody's familiar. We have our in-house lender, DHI Mortgage. Is anybody familiar with DHI? Yeah, they're great. They're quick too. So if your buyer qualifies with them, then they're going to offer up to $8,000 towards closing, and we've got some promotional rates as low as 3.99 available with them on government loans. So we can really get everybody a rockin' deal between 6%. Closing costs, promotional rates, sale pricing on a ton of homes. So we're here to help, and we just wanted to remind you all to use us. You're not bothering us. You're not hassling us. Call us, text us, email us all day. Anything you need, we're here for you.
Gina, our agents, if they are coming out to the neighborhood or they're not, do they call in advance to register? How does that work with you guys?
So it is best to call and register and let us set that appointment so that they know you're coming, so you're not stuck waiting around the model. If they know you're coming, they will make every effort to be there when you are, or they can text with you, and we'll get your information to them directly, who you're going to be meeting with, so that y'all can make that connection. We will register your buyer in our system as well, so we can get all of the back end paperwork, I guess, data entry in for you guys, so that y'all can focus on finding the right home for your buyer, and everybody's protected.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you,
Okay.
my friends.
All right. All right.
Lori, did you have anything you needed to add? Okay. Sounds good. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. We love DR Horton. I know a number of y'all have already taken advantage of their red tag sales with 6 and 7% commission. So continue to go out there and knock those out. A quick little anecdote on builders. I was talking to one of my friends the other day who's a VP with a local builder, and she was really excited to show me an interesting tool, and I went, wow, this is what builders are moving to. So you guys have heard us talk in the past about Plod, those little listening devices you can plug onto your phone. There's one builder here in town. I don't know if I should say the name yet, so I'll wait. You can ask me off camera. But they're actually using a similar device on their iPads that all sales reps have to have the entire appointment. And so they are recording every conversation. They can see the scripts, everything that Plod can do. Where this triggered my mind is for realtors when your clients are going out and they just happen to stop at a model without you. Because how many times have we been in those situations where we've had to call after the fact and say, hey, I know the Smith stopped in. They're actually working with me. And a lot of times our builders in San Antonio, we're very fortunate, work with realtors in the realtor community, and they'll usually add us on to that if we get ahead of that really fast. But how many times is there that dispute of did they or did they not say they were working with a realtor? I'm going to tell you right now, we as realtors have to up our game on registering our clients ahead of time, because now they are going to have that ability to go back and say, let's replay the conversation when they were asked, are you working with the realtor? And before that, he said, she said, a lot of times it would work out in our favor. We're not going to be able to get away with that anymore. So you have got to really counsel your clients on, if we are looking at new construction, you need to call me before you step foot in that model. Even if you're just driving by and you want to pop in, text me first, call me first, so I can call and make sure they know you are coming in and you are working with the realtor. Because you know there's plenty of friendly builders in town, but we all know the names I shall not name that are going to say, tough freaking luck, you weren't here, so sad, cry me a river, you're out. And I don't want that happening to you guys, because we're not going to be able to play the he said, she said. So I would really recommend you guys create some sort of registration card. Maybe we'll create one as a company that you can give to your clients up front at that first buyer consultation to say, if you walk into a model, you need to give them this that says, here's who I'm working with and how you get in touch with them. But this is one builder doing it. They're a big builder, so I don't doubt it's only a matter of time before other builders pick up on this technology and start using the same thing. So anyways, there's your little 2 cents there that I'm picking up on right now in the market. Hey, last year we did a doggy hangout. We're going to repeat it again. This time we're not doing it in the summer. We're doing it in the spring, so it's going to be a little cooler. So if you want to bring your pup or just bring yourself and come hang out with us, we're going to be at Hops and Hounds Saturday, April 11th, 10 to 12 o'clock. And we'll have some cocktails. We'll hang out with the puppy dogs. We'll play some fetch and play some other games. But feel free to put that on your calendar. Just a fun day to hang out with the Heritage family. So put that one on your calendar. Winston, my Bernedoodle, will be there, and we're going to have some fun. All righty. That's really why I put it together, is for him. All right, we've got about close to 20 people signed up for Catalyst right now, which is starting on April 7th. That is going to be taught by Christina Guzman. That's her 10-week series. They're meeting every Tuesday to go over what to do in your business. This is really designed for people already doing over 10 transactions a year, but want to take it up a notch and get to 20 or 30 or 40. So she's covering a number of books like Atomic Habits and Ninja Selling and a few others. And so there's an opportunity to take this class, scan that QR code, but it's going to have a top producer in every class opening up the session, and then she's going to walk you through that actual business model that top producer is working in their business. April 9th, we've got Ricardo Gonzalez teaching his class again that is always requested quite often about how to put your database on autopilot and stay consistently in front of your clients without having to think about it, and then also how to follow up with them when they are pinging you on your newsletters and your social media. He's done this at a very high level for a number of years, and he's taught this class several times for us, and we keep getting a request for it to happen again. So we're lucky enough, April 9th, that's happening. So if you need help with your database, you're going to want to plug that one in. Josh Sigmund with Legacy is still leading his wealth series. is on April 8th, and then KW Land has their next meeting on April 10th. I told y'all last meeting we have a new deal with land.com. If you want more information on that to advertise your land listings, see Tina in Agent Services. Coming up also in April, we have got an executive maps coach coming in, John Vander John V. John V is going to be in-house. I have actually taken a couple classes at KWRI from John. He is a phenomenal instructor, so he's going to be doing two things for us that day or those days. On Tuesday, April 14th, he's going to have an all-agent session. Anybody can come to this. He's going to be coaching around several things, including, where's my notes on that? I can't read. But anyways, he's going to be going over some really high stuff on just your business and how to grow your business. But then on Monday, the day before, he's going to be doing a top producer mastermind for anybody over $8 million, and that's going to really be led as an open mastermind and conversations around whatever you guys want to talk about. So scan that. There is zero cost. We're covering his cost to fly into San Antonio and to teach us. But I have taken his classes. He is phenomenal. You are not going to want to miss that, so put that on your calendar. 360 Painting is one of our new premier partners. Come on down, my friend, and tell us what you guys are doing.
Howdy, everyone. I am Paul McGeehee with 360 Painting. This is my brother, Ryan. We own and operate the business together. We are excited to be a new premier partner for the group. Every referral you send our way, get your name into the drawing. If we move on to the next slide, we do a lot with community outreach, right? We're here to help increase the value of our community, businesses, homes, but we also partner strongly with a organization called Go Play Sports that provides kids the opportunity that otherwise couldn't play team sports. Who in this room played team sports growing up? And look at the leaders that you are today, right? And so that's why we also pledge a donation to Go Play Sports for every referral that we get from this program. If we can move on, please. A little bit about us. We are proud members of Blue Collar Connect here in San Antonio. This is a group of home service providers and trades professionals that are all vetted for professionalism, background checked, and fully insured. We all hold each other accountable for the work we do, and we work regularly together to give your clients and customers the best. Say we're going to do when we say we're going to do it. And paint products out there to give, increase the value of a home and just provide really amazing customer service, never leaving until the customer is fully satisfied. As you probably know or may not know, painting is one of the best ways to increase the value of a home. The ROI is really fantastic. So painting the exterior of a home can increase that home's value by 2 to 5%, generally getting about 150 to 200% return on your investment in that painting. Interior, about 160 to 250% return on your investment for that painting. And so our job here is to help you sell your homes for more and get you more money in your pocket as well. We do offer pay at closing. I'm sorry, I don't know your name, sir. Grant was talking about that. It's a really amazing program where your customers can qualify for a unsecured line of credit, so it doesn't hit their credit fee when they're looking for their next house. And they can use it for painting, lighting, staging, all of the above. Even like, I need to put my dogs in daycare while the house is being shown. You can submit those receipts and get paid back. We can pop one more. This is just a quick review that we had recently for a new build customer that had, just sort of the matte white walls across all of their rooms. Really loved the way that we brought it to life and created his vision for him. And then we've just got some befores and afters here of some of the projects that we've done. So you can sort of see on the left and the right there. The right is the after. This is a house up in Bernie, really beautifully done. This is like I-10 and Callahan area. We did a ton of repairs on this house, sort of the right side there where that carport comes down, or that driveway comes down, got flooded all the time. All sorts of cabinets we focus on. We can do wallpaper install. And the last couple of slides that I've got here are a house where we did a bunch of repairs. So you can sort of see the next slide here. You can see all that rot, all that damage on the soffit and fascia. can sort of see in the next slide where we repaired that, and then sort of the final product after that. So thank you so much for all of your time. I really am excited to be a new Premier Partner with Keller Williams. Shout out Jamie Adams, Shayna Kuntz, and Janet Wingrove, the agents I've worked with already. So talk to them if you're looking to see how we operate, and would love to meet with all of y'all in the coming weeks or months.
Awesome. Thank you. He named off 3 agents there that have super high standards. So if he's working with them, that's a good sign. All right, I'm going to tell you guys about a quick agent competition we have coming up called YKWH. We like to get the word out there, and you guys are our best advocates and our best cheerleaders. So we want to spread the word. So if you would make a 30-second selfie, we're going to run this between this team meeting and the next team meeting. Just a quick 30-second video on why you love KW. And let's see here. This just gives you a little idea of kind of what we're looking for. That did not work.
Hey everybody, it's Anna getting ready for team meeting, and I just wanted to take a moment to talk about why I love Heritage so much. It has felt like family since the moment I walked in here. It is all about collaboration, teamwork, and really helping one another succeed. We have a beautiful building with tons of resources to offer our agents, and I just love being part of a team that feels like family and always looks out for one another. If you're interested in learning more about Heritage, give me a call.
Give it up for Hannah, because I made her do that last second. I told her we need an example. Go shoot an example. She said, really? I said, yeah, go do it. So she did, and she did it great. But that's really what we're looking for, is just as something genuine and about what you love about the office. Connections, culture, collaboration over competition. Garrett always being there to solve our contract problems. Any and everything, just how friendly the front desk is. And if you would do that, we appreciate it. Between now and next team meeting, we're going to draw some winners based off of views, likes, comments, shares. We're also going to do some random drawings where anybody that submits one's going to get put into a hat, and we'll be drawing out some stuff. And here's the really cool thing. If an agent contacts you and is interested in coming to join Heritage, introduce them to Matthew, introduce them to Nikki, introduce them to myself. If we get them on board, my gift to you is going to be registering you for Mega Camp on us. Okay, so if you want to go to Mega Camp, do that video. Get it out there. That's an $800, $900 offer. You just got to get that out there and drum us up some activity, and we would love to meet those agents. Also, last team meeting, I asked you guys to leave us some Google reviews on leadership on my Google page. Several of you, well, quite a few of you did. And so I'm going to do a drawing real quick for a $25 Starbucks gift card. Let's see who we've got here. Misty Rios. Are you in the room, Misty? Okay, well, Misty Rios will get that. I know I see Janie here, so all right, make sure we get that to her. We're going to continue on that every month or every week for the next month. I'm going to be posting a video on the Facebook page featuring a different leader that we're going to be asking for Google reviews on their landing page. And so continue to do that. Each Friday, I'll pull a name, and we are going to give away a free month's of dues, that $94 that we pay. So be on the lookout for that. We are changing our lollipop tree. We are moving over to some poker chips because we love some poker. But the real reason is sticking those lollipops in those holes every month is cumbersome. And half of y'all don't want to eat the lollipops. So we end up getting them back, and then they get kind of sticky after a while. It's just not fun. So I'm trying to take some of that off the plate of our amazing support team. So we are moving over to a new poker chip system. So every time you come in for the first meeting of the month, we'll have that stationed over here where Allie is, and you'll pull your poker chips, and that will have the cash. We'll give out that cash right then and there. Instead of disrupting team meeting, we're going to do that at the beginning before it starts and at the end of team meetings. So just be on the lookout for that new process. If you haven't grabbed your lollipop already today, do it at the end of the meeting, and Allie's going to hook you up with your cash. But we love those rewarding you guys when y'all are out there hustling. Garrett, come on down, our amazing broker of record, and he is going to tell us about E&O, and he's also going to introduce our special guest today. Garrett.
Awesome, awesome. All right, guys. Well, it's that time of the year where we have our annual E&O meeting. If you have not yet signed up, I need you to do that. Every year, we take the opportunity, we ask for 1 hour out of your year to listen to industry updates, remind you of important policies and procedures that we have, cover the things that are going to keep you compliant and safe. And this year, you all voted on the theme. This year, we are doing a survivor-themed E&O meeting. We're going to see about who we need to kick off the island because they're not being compliant. We're going to have some immunity challenges. We're going to have some rewards. We're going to really have a lot of fun with this. But everyone, I do need everyone to take this. If you haven't already signed up, please do so. We have sessions on Zoom. We have sessions here in the office. They're in New Braunfels. We're in the Hill Country. We are coming to you, but please make sure you sign up for that because it's so important that you keep up to date with the industry and the changes that happen. And really, this is one of the ways that helps to keep us compliant, out of E&O jail, so you don't get TREC complaints. You name it. This is the kind of information that keeps you and your clients safe. So I really look forward to doing it. It's going to be a fun time. And I was told by Grant I wasn't speaking in the microphone enough. That does sound better. Sorry, Salo. Any questions on this? It's really going to be a good, fast-paced meeting as we do every single year. So you can sign up on that. They start the 13th of April, so they're coming really quick. Do that. All right, well, I get the privilege of introducing Mike Barnett. He is the president, CEO of Texas Realtors, and I ran into him at a function at Sabor back in January, and I said, Mike, we'd love to have you come and talk at Heritage. What are the industry updates? What are the things that we need to know? What is going on that you see across the state of Texas? And because of who we are, because of who you are, they came to us. Like, that's the power you all have because we're such a top producing office, and that's really a testament to you all out there that they would take the time come out of Austin to talk to us. Marquise, my friend, I know you. We're going to tell Grant something. Is there something I need to say about Mike to introduce him? I just want to make sure because you're like, who's introducing Mike? And I said he is, and then it was handed off to me. So Mike Barnett, long time Texas, long time in the Texas Realtor family, and he's been in this job for just over a year. He told us he just celebrated 1 year anniversary. He says it's been the shortest 10 years of his life. Anyway, guys, we are really honored to have the president of Texas Realtors. Give it up for Mike Barnett.
Awesome, thank you, Garrett. Really appreciate that, man. No pressure, and thank you for not letting Marquise introduce me. He knows me too well, right? Somebody made the comment at the back of the room that this room has a vibe of its own, and I tell you what, I've been with Texas Realtors for 20 years now, just over 20 years. And I've been to a lot of sales meetings, and boy, I tell you, spot. Okay, Garrett, you feel better? All right, gotcha. I'm getting the mic instruction as well, but in 20 years, lots of sales meetings I've been to. This is the most energy, the most different vibe. I know why you're here, and you've got something special. Everything that Grant said was special about this place, I felt it the first time I walked in the door. So congratulations to you all. And I'm also going to come here and just sit in the back of the room at all of your sales meetings because it makes me feel better about everything. Hearing all the success stories. Thank you for doing that. You know, I sit and spend a lot of time, reading the national real estate media and the different articles and things that come out and get super depressed about where everything's going. Y'all just completely changed my mind. So ignore some of the slides that I'm going to present to you today. But yeah, Garrett, thanks for the introduction. Yesterday was my 1 year anniversary as president and CEO. My bosses had the humor or meanness or whatever it was to have my first day on that job as April 1st, and so that's played out really well over the course of the year. So I'm your April Fool as your president and CEO for Texas Realtors. But I have been with Texas Realtors in a number of roles over the years for 20 years now, and I would not be anywhere else. I'm here after 20 years for a reason, and it's because of what we're doing today. I spend some time in Austin now. Most of the time I spend is out and about, and this is my favorite part of the job, is actually getting to speak with you and not to you. And I'm not going to work off of notes or anything today because I want to speak with you and not to you. I talked to my predecessor, Travis Kessler, who a lot of you may know because he would come here year after year, and he was president of Sabor for a long time. Talked to me yesterday. He said, "What I need to expect?" He said, lots of energy. It's high energy. Grant gets a lot of people out. You got 30 minutes, and you get done within that 30 minutes. So I'm going to do my darndest to do that. A little tough because we're actually on a tour right now, what we call our regional meeting. So we go around the state with the leadership team and talk to realtors across the state, meet with brokers ahead of those meetings, but then have a 3-hour presentation that we give to realtors in the different parts of the state. I'm condensing that 3 hours in about 30 minutes, so we're going to hit a lot of stuff. But if I stumble across something or I go over something too quick and you have some comments or questions, let's engage. I'll spend this 30 minutes however you want to spend the 30 minutes. I know I'm driving the camera crazy by walking around. I'll try to stay still. But I do want to start, just talking a little bit about overall the value of Texas Realtors. And there's a lot of conversation, especially in this national media, of okay, well, MLS is super important, but what's the value of this realtor organization? What does the Realtor Association actually do for me? And we often ask, especially because it's kind of this three-way agreement. So when you join as a realtor, you're a member of the local association, and you're a subscriber to your MLS, and then you're a member of the state association and the national association. I often ask, do you know what you pay for your state association dues? Can anybody besides Marquise and Grant tell me what state association dues are? All right, we'll get there in a second. First, I want to play a video. Maybe. Maybe not. Well, this will be a really short presentation if our. I tell you, man, it was working fine a second ago. There we go. All right, I'll show you the video in just a minute. $157, 43. Sorry, I'll stand in one place. 43 cents a day. $157 over the course of the year. Things like, and this isn't a sales pitch. I'm going to get into real issues when we can get into our slide here in just a second. But things like 104, more than 140 forms across there. Access to the legal hotline. Anybody have any guesses as to how many calls how many of you have called the legal hotline before? Anybody? How many calls do you think on an annual basis the legal hotline gets? Wow, y'all are ambitious. 15,000. Wow, we're going to have to put those lawyers to work. Start calling more. We'll hire more. 15,000. Right, you've got Garrett. Right, outside of this room, yeah, that's where all those 15,000 come from. Y'all are talking to people that probably need to be calling the legal hotline. But and we're going to speak a little bit about advocacy. There's a lot going on. There are a lot of changes that happened in the last legislative session. There are changes that precipitated a lot of regulatory changes, a lot of forms changes that are happening now, things that are on the table for TREC proposed changes right now, and then also Texas Realtors changes right now, things like that. Marketing communication, our advertising, consumer advertising, us reaching out to consumers to help them understand, especially in the wake of the message that was being sent out on the national media following the NAR settlement of what's the value of a realtor, and this is an attack on the structure and these sorts of things. Well, we hear from realtors year after year after year, survey after survey after survey, room after room after room, is what can your association, whether it's the national association, the state association, or the local, what can we be doing that would help you the most? Talking to consumers about what you really do on their behalf to make them successful in their real estate endeavors. And that's one of the things I'll show you here in just a little bit, what we've really focused on in recent times. I don't know if we'll actually get to that. That's sort of towards the end of the presentation. But all of this, this and more, what we really want to try to impart to you is that there's value that you're getting that. We don't want you to invest $157 if you're not getting an ROI on that investment. And the important thing about ROI is actually knowing what you're investing and what you're getting back. And so in 30 minutes, we could go on for days about the day in and day out value and the things that we do at Texas Realtors. But what I want to get across to you is we want to have that conversation with you. We know that we probably don't have that conversation with you enough as to what the tangible return value is to you. Let's see here. How are we doing on this? Okay. All right. We'll keep going. I want to talk just a little bit in starting. There's a little bit of a landscape, kind of what's happening in the industry at the beginning of the presentation. I want to skip a little bit to kind of the legal and regulatory side, what I mentioned earlier. Last year in the legislative session, we passed what's called Senate Bill 1968. This is probably the biggest practice change in real estate in a really long time. And what it basically did was codify in Texas what happened in the NAR settlement, that written agreements are required. It pulled compensation out of the MLS. That the written agreements have to be signed before a property is shown. It eliminated sub-agency and did some other stuff as well. What all that did and why does that matter? The NAR settlement, if you recall, applied to anyone that subscribes to a realtor-owned MLS, which means that anyone who's not a realtor, and there's throughout the country. That's more and more. In Texas, I'll ask you another quiz question. How many licensees in Texas, what percentage of licensees in Texas are realtor members? Pretty darn close. It's about 86, 87%, which is great. We are kind of that unicorn across the country is that we have a way higher percentage of realtors in Texas than a lot of other states do. We appreciate that. We value that. We want to make sure that we all understand the value of this unity that the realtor organization has and the ability to do things like advocacy really, really well, probably better than anybody in the country. And that's because of the unity that we have, that we speak with a voice of 145,000 Texas realtors behind. If we were a fragmented industry, I can tell you from having worked in the legislature for a long time, if you've got a fragmented industry and two separate entities from within industry come in and say, this is our view, and they're differing views, you know what the legislature does? They say, y'all go figure it out. We're not going to touch it until you figured it out together. That's the power of the unity of the realtor organization and representing such a large percentage of real estate agents in the state of Texas. So there's tons of value there that we're not going to. I'm going to get back to Senate Bill 1968. The reason that we codified that in state law is so that it applies to non-realtors alike, so that you're not put into this position of having one set of rules that apply to you as realtors, and then non-realtors have a different set of rules to play by. So what did that do? We'll talk about it here in just a second, but because of that, obviously some forms changes were required, but the important part of that, again, is that written agreement prior to a showing happening. So what happened when that came into place? Probably not in this room, but different business models say, hey, we get a call from somebody that wants to go see a home. We've never met this person before. We show up, and what you're telling me is the first thing that we have to do is get them to sign a contract that says you're using me and this is what you're going to pay me. Well, you may not even know if you want to take that client or not, right? A lot of people say, hey, I need to date somebody before I actually marry him, right? So part of what 1968 did was actually allow for a temporary agreement that's not a representation agreement, that just says, hey, I'm not representing you. I can't give you advice. And for this short amount of period, I think it can last up to 14 days is what the bill said, that we don't have a representation agreement, but I can show you this property. I'm not going to give you any advice, and I'm not going to step on anything that Garrett has told you or will continue to tell you about this arrangement. Some models, some business practices say, nope, we're going to get the listing agreement done, so that we don't have to be in that danger area of whether we can say something or not, and whether that falls into practicing real estate or not, and giving advice. But we created a form for that. So there's a form now for that allows you to do that temporary non-representation showing. Some people are using it, some people are not. The biggest thing is that requirement for a written agreement up before, and the settlement said written agreement, not representation agreement, not anything else, that just said written agreement. So that's allowed within there. Pulled out sub-agency. Let me get to that piece of it now that we have our slides. And y'all got lucky. I'm going to skip a lot of this stuff for you. But I do want to come back to just a little bit of this. Yep. there's, and I'm happy to share these slides with you. This is a slide on what 1968 actually did. One of the questions that we get from folks, and again, this is a business model decision, and in the hundreds of realtors that we've talked to over the last couple of weeks about this, I haven't gotten one that's actually said we do this, but we did get some calls that said, "Hey, I attend open houses on behalf of another broker. I'm there, and it's somebody else's listing." I haven't gotten anybody to actually tell me that this actually happens in real life. But so what do I have to do? Is the IABS, is a written agreement required? Is the IABS required? And in all those cases, the answer is yes. You can look at the slide here. If you're there on somebody else's behalf, got to have this written agreement. Got to have the IABS. If you're there, and even if it's yours and it's not, and I don't want to get into Garrett's territory, but it's somebody's already represented. Again, yes and yes and yes. If it's yours, not necessary. So that's a question that we get a lot on the hotline for one reason or the other. So we put it in there just for the you know me go back so you can take a picture. There you go. I'm happy to give copies of these slides as well. All right. There we go. All right. So if we would have been here a year ago and had and I would have been up in front of you, probably all of you would have run me out if once we started talking about paragraph 12, right? And the confusion that was caused in the wake of all this and compensation coming out of the MLS and it being handled that way, and TREC making changes to paragraph 12, but then compensation still being in the listing agreement. We were hearing from title companies that are like, it's filled out wrong in both places and we double owe. We got to go back and fix this. So we heard that. TREC has heard that. TREC actually has a proposal right now to change 12 and cover both sides in paragraph 12, which means doing some crazy things, which means that allows us to take broker-to-broker compensation out of the listing agreement. So you'll see that likely. We're in a comment period right now. TREC is as well. Because of the changes and the clarifications that TREC is making to paragraph 12, that covers it there and then allows it to come out of the listing agreement. So why can't it be both places? Confusion. One of the other things that kind of drives our motivation to pull it out of a Texas Realtors listing agreement is that while the settlement didn't touch compensation, it didn't touch broker-to-broker compensation, so that's fine. Broker-to-broker compensation is still 100% legal. There's another entity called the DOJ that said, hey, you know what? We don't like broker-to-broker compensation. Now, it's still legal, it's still practiced widely, but as a trade association that brings competitors together in a marketplace, we feel like we're putting risk on the industry if we keep it in there, and the DOJ at some point says, nope, we're coming after that. We're coming after it hard. So it's a little bit of risk of mitigation, both on the association's part, but also on realtor members' parts for us to pull it out of there. And we felt like with TREC making changes to clarify it in paragraph 12, then we have that opportunity to do that. So they're adding a new 12B to paragraph 12. Now that QR code up there, if it's clear, I think there's some sort of squigglies in there. You can actually go to TREC's proposals and read and look at what they actually look like. I'm certain that Garrett has already gotten this to you, but on there, on TREC's website, all the proposed rules that they have open right now, there's a little comment button next to it, and you can go in and comment whether you like, don't like, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna get corrected on this.
No, you're not being correct. I just want to let you all know these changes will be approved at the earliest at the TREC May meeting. So I'm not teaching on them right now because y'all will be out there going, where's the new form? Where's the new form? So I have my course written. We're going to cover a lot of this at the E&O that you all have to take. But come May, when the forms are actually approved, come on, we're doing the whole thing at that time. I just want to give you the layout so that as Mike is explaining what is coming and you get this from him, and he's doing a great job explaining exactly as I would, I'm just not teaching on it yet because we're a month ahead of the changes. That's all.
There you go. Yeah, confusion, right? Absolutely.
One of the confusions that we were talking about back here is that 12A1B right now is in the same paragraph section with concessions, and that's where a lot of the confusion comes from. So
Yeah.
12B still in 12.
Right. Hey, use that QR code. Absolutely. And honestly, let us know as well exactly what that is, so that we can, in communications with, we work very, very closely with Trek, but they actually do go in and read every single one of those comments that that gets put up on entities. So, all right. Well, we can distribute this. We can distribute this whole deck. No problem at all. Happy to do that. I mean, you've know what FinCEN is. Is this a topic of discussion and consternation? FinCEN has been a seesaw over time. It's come, it's gone, it's come, it's gone. It came, and then last week or maybe the week before, a judge said, nope, this doesn't work. It's vacated. Don't worry about it. Point to be made here is, one, that it's likely to be appealed. Point to be made here is that it didn't prohibit title companies from asking these and going through that same process. FinCEN said the rule is essentially, if you have a cash buyer that's an entity, collect this information to make sure that we're not engaging in money laundering, and the cost is borne by. Doesn't say, right? One of those Trek proposed rules is actually assigns the cost to the buyer. So Trek is likely I don't know about likely. I don't know how they're going to handle this by their next meeting, as to whether, because this rule is vacated, whether they'll still go forward with that proposed change to clarify that there's a notice in there that this information is going to be collected, and that the cost is borne by the buyer. We'll see where that goes. So. I'm going to hit just a little bit on the legislative session. I know that we're running out of time here a little bit, but and I won't go back and talk a lot about the last legislative session, other than it was a successful session. A lot of it centered around affordability, and it focused a lot on housing supply, and it focused a lot on property taxes. Homestead exemptions were increased, both the standard exemption and then the senior and disabled. Personal property tax exemption was increased. So there was a lot of progress made. What we're hearing now in the election cycle, though, is that wasn't enough. You've heard the governor and the lieutenant governor say, affordability is still an issue, is still a key issue. I've never seen affordability. Thankfully, I've never seen affordability take such a center stage in what the legislative leaders are saying is important to the state. This is good. What you're hearing out there is that both the lieutenant governor and the governor want to eliminate property taxes. What they mean by eliminating property taxes is that maintenance and operations, the big part of your school property taxes. The state doesn't have any control over your county and your city and other property taxes. What they do have a little bit of control over is that school property tax. So they're out there saying that we want to eliminate this school M&O property tax, and we want to limit the ability of other local taxing entities to be able to make up for that savings by raising their tax rates. So this is one of those where the devil's in the details. We would love, Texas is a state that we've always enjoyed, that we're a more affordable state in the country, but at the same time, the growth that we've seen in the state and the pressure that's been put on, especially in recent years, on prices, that affordability is being threatened quite a bit. And so in this, great. We'd love to see how you would replace school property taxes. Governor says, hey, we are a top economic powerhouse in the country. There's an award that Site Selection Magazine actually awards states every year, and it's called the Governor's Cup, for the state that brings in the most economic development projects, most companies that actually move to Texas, move to your state. We've won that 14 years in a row. We won it in 2025. We won it 14 years in a row, Texas has. In fact, we had something like, whoever's responding, I'll tell the governor you're clapping for that. That's great. Texas brought in 1,400 of these companies in 2025. The next state below, I think, was Illinois. Maybe they brought in like 615. So we're killing it. We're killing it. That puts a lot of pressure on infrastructure. It puts a lot of pressure on prices. Those sorts of things. Governor says, hey, we've done so well. We've consistently had bless you. Consistently had surpluses in our budget. That's where we pay for this thing. We just offset buying down school property taxes with the surplus. Lieutenant Governor says, hey, we can't rely on these surpluses all the time. We need to look at other options. There are options on the table of, well, what if we replace it? We eliminate school property taxes. It's something like 16, 17, 18%. That has a big impact. If you eliminate property taxes altogether across the board, it's something like 25 cents. And this was a long time ago when we actually did the study. So we're re-engaging in studies like that. The point of this whole thing is that there are big conversations that are going on at the state level. That Texas, this is one of the things that Texas Realtors does on your behalf. We are the best in the business at advocacy. We have the voice, and you know why we have the voice at the Capitol is not just because we have a stellar lobby team and policy folks that have great relationships. It's because of, again, going back to those 140,000 members of the association and the grassroots that's engaged from the time someone says that I want to be a candidate for an office, and a group of you all get together at Sabor and say, okay, sit down with us and let's talk about real estate issues and where you are. The relationships begin there. You all are experts, and you're in the relationship business. It's no different at the Capitol. And then we follow up by helping realtor champions and people that believe in private property rights and understand the impact and let us sit at the table with them. We support them through their campaigns. And by the time they sit in a legislative seat for the first time, they already know who the realtors are. They already have those established relationships. If we walked in on the first day of the legislative session with our lobby team, as good as they are, we walked in and said, hey, I'm Mike. We'd like you to be here on this bill. The answer is no across the board 100% of the time. It's because of the relationships that are built back home and reinvested in over time. That's what makes us successful. That's what makes us unique from any other organization at the Capitol. And I just want to impart on you how important and how special that is as the realtor organization, how appreciative that we are that realtors get engaged. There I am. I'm the man standing. I am the man standing in front of a group of great folks. That's awesome timing. I'm going to take that as a hook. and everybody says, yes, thank you. Yes, that's awesome. I did want to. I want to show you. I want to show you something. I talked about. Our consumer campaigns. And I want to tell you how important this is to us. We've always. I've done a lot of member surveys over the year. I've talked to a lot of people. I've done a lot of helped local associations with their member surveys as well. And when we ask the question, what do you think your association should be doing? I told you this earlier. They say, talk to consumers on our behalf. Texas Realtors has, no, it's not playing yet. I'm gonna hope that it does here in a second. You might not go far. Texas Realtors, historically, our budget for consumer advertising, we run a summer PR campaign. We spend about $800,000 to $1 million, every summer to do that and get that out there. When all of this kind of national conversation was going on and the negativity that was going around and just how impactful that was being with consumers, said we got to do better than that. And the leadership team and the budget team and Marquise and his cohorts said, let's do better than that. And we invested $6 million towards speaking directly with consumers. And so we worked with an advertising firm and put together a few spots that went on digital media. I had a pretty aggressive campaign towards reaching first-time home buyers, upsizers, and downsizers. That was our focus last year. This year, we're expanding that over to the seller side. We're expanding it over to commercial and property management. We're extending it a little bit to advocacy so that we can tell consumers what you, as the realtor organization, are doing on their behalf as well. I'm going to show you one of these that we did last year. A man standing in a kitchen. Again, we'll give you this. Yeah. So main point that I want to get across here is that we take this responsibility very seriously. We hear you. All of the good ideas that we have come from you, from people that volunteer, people that come to us and say, this is what's happening back home. This is what we're seeing. This is what our state association needs to be doing for us on a state level. Marquise, Grant, you've been there before. I want to thank both of you for being a part of it. I want you to know, you feel free to reach out to me directly anytime. That's the benefit of me being here, not over Zoom, not sending a newsletter to you, is that I want you to feel a personal connection with your state association. You are all equal dues paying members. You have access to every single person in that building. We are working day and night on your behalf. We can only do it if you're a part of that with us and engage in conversations and tell us what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, and where we need to go in the future. We have a member survey that went out on Monday, and then again today in the Focus. How many of you please read the Focus on Thursdays? There's good stuff. There's a really important article today that leads the Focus on the foreign buyers bill that the Attorney General just wrote some. Is this being recorded? Bad rules on. We need you to engage on it. Please open your Focus today. It's very important. We have a member survey. Those member surveys are how we hear from a lot of realtors that tell us where we need to go. It directly guides our strategic planning process, which guides our budget, which guides what I do on a day-to-day basis. So thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Hope it's... I will always be the man standing at the front of the room as long as you invite me to the room. Thank you.
Mike Barnett, thank you very much. So one of the reasons I wanted Mike to come is I wanted you to hear it is so important that as an industry, we have a seat at the table, at the legislative table, at the local table, in the arena of advocating for public policy to advance real estate. Real estate policy is beneficial to you and the consumer. That's one of the main purposes that the Texas Realtors does for us, because the alternative is we have no seat at the table, and it's up to you all to keep track of all the legislation, to go talk to your legislator, your congressman, whoever it is. Y'all don't have time for that. You go, well, Garrett, we want you to. I don't have time for that. I'm too busy herding you all around. You all know that. So we are blessed to have such a competent and amazing and passionate people like Mike at the Texas Realtors who are going to the Capitol, who arrange the Realtor Day at the Capitol, where we can go in voice and say, we want good property tax reform. Is elimination of property taxes the right thing? I don't know, but we certainly know that it causes problems when it gets out of line, and we need to have policies that may do that. What about good building codes? What about incentives for building good communities? Like, we need that voice at the table, and that's what Texas Realtors does at a very high level to organize. So y'all might say, well, we don't need NAR, we don't need these associations. Somebody's going to fill that void. And if it's not people like Mike Barnett and Texas Realtors, we don't know who it's going to be, and we may not like that outcome. So again, we want this, we need this, and Mike, thank you so much for coming and honoring us. All right, one last bit of business while we let Mike go is we did not do the listing lollipops yet. So here's the idea. If your name's on the list, I'll go through the slides a couple times. You get up, the lollipop trees in the front and back of the room also have all the money. Get your lollipops. Go see Allie. She's got your money. She'll be out there, but this is it. So, guys, again, thank you, Mike Barnett. Thank you, guys. I'll go through these slides. So there's A through D. Here is D through J. And again, if you've got a number after your name, like I see Erica Chapa with 7, get your 7 lollipops. Go see my friend out, my amazing assistant Allie over here. Philip Vaughn with 7. You're in the room. I see that. Julie Test has 2. Levita has 2.